There are now 17 different common trees available for Farming Simulator 25. Which one gives you the most volume if you're wanting to use it for productions? Well, it's not American elm or oak. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. How's it going, everybody? Driver53 here, and in this video, we're going to be taking a look at how much volume you're going to be able to get out of each one of these trees here in Farming Simulator 25. Now, I went through the hard, excruciating process of planting all 16 base game trees that you have here, and I also found a deadwood on the map as well, so that's how we get 17 trees. Now, some of these trees, like the cherry tree, you're not going to get very much volume out of them. They're just kind of there for decoration only. But other trees, you're going to get quite a bit of volume out of these things. The problem is they're just really difficult to get cut up and transported over to the sawmill. And yes, even the most harvested tree in Farming Simulator 22, the lodgepole pine, is here again, coming in at an astounding 36.3 meters tall, but it's not the tallest. That record is going to go to the Scotch pine. Now, that is also one that we've had in a previous game as well, part of the expansion that we had in Farming Simulator 22. But there's also a lot of different new trees that we've got here as well. I'm going to go ahead and show you this spreadsheet with all of the different trees that I've got included in this video. We've got the American elm, aspen, beech, betula urmani. We got a box elder, cherry tree, Chinese elm. There's the deadwood. We've got downy serviceberry, golden rain, Japanese zelkova, lodgepole pine, Manchurian red pine, northern catalpa, oak, Scotch pine, and shagbark hickory. And I'm also going to go ahead and show you the height and the diameter of each one of these trees. Now, this is kind of how you're going to be able to figure out which trees are good and which trees are bad if you're wanting to use this lumber for productions. Now, if you're trying to sell it, you want the most straight, long piece that you can. We already showed that 9-meter logs is going to give you the best price there. But if you're just worried about volume, then maybe the lodgepole isn't the one for you. And I'm going to change up the spreadsheet here just a little bit. We're going to go and start at the very top. Now, this is not alphabetical. This is in the amount of volume that you're going to be able to get out of these trees. Now, your cherry tree and your downy serviceberry, you're not going to get hardly anything at all. I mean, 264 for a cherry tree. That's like a limb off one of these other big trees. But then as you start going down, you start getting in closer to the 2,000 range, right? And you can see that we've got Chinese elm coming in there, and you've got deadwood that's even at 1835. Scotch pine, it's a little bit surprising, only 2816. The reason I say that's surprising is because your lodgepole pine is coming in at 5812. Now, if you notice, we're barely halfway through this list, and lodgepole pine is probably one of the easiest trees to harvest, but it doesn't produce that much in comparison to some of these other ones down here on this list. Now, a couple new trees that we've got here on the list are the betula urmani, and that's a 6876, and a Manchurian red pine coming in at 9026. Now, neither of these trees I was able to find when I went around on Riverbend Springs. Maybe they're on one of the other maps. So if you want to harvest them, you're probably going to have to plant them yourself if you're playing on Riverbend Springs. Now, some trees that are absolutely present on Riverbend are going to be your box elder coming in at 12,175 and the shagbark hickory coming in at 16,658. And if you look in the comparison, lodgepole pine, it's going to take almost 3 of those to be able to get the same amount here that you're getting in one shagbark hickory. Now, the shagbark hickory are a little bit more complicated to harvest. I'm not going to lie. You got to cut them up and figure out how you're going to get them on a trailer. Lodgepoles are pretty easy, but if you've run out of lodgepoles and you still need some volume, then maybe shagbark's the way to go. Like I said before, your American elm and your oak are coming in just under 21 and 22,000 liters here. Now, these were the biggest ones that we had on the previous versions of Farming Simulator, in 22 with the Platinum expansion that we had. Now we've got 2 more trees that produce even more volume than that. The first one is the Japanese zelkova. I've not been able to find this tree on Riverbend Springs. Probably going to be able to find it on the Asian map for sure. But the tree that produces the absolute most volume, based on a couple different tests that I've run here, is the northern catalpa, 24,496 liters. That is the absolute best that I found. These are all the trees that you can plant. Doesn't matter what map you're on. You can plant every one of these except for the deadwood. And that's just going to be able to be found around the map. You can cut those down or you can harvest them as part of your contracts. Now, there's only 6 of these trees that I've been able to cut down with a base game harvester. So this may play into which trees you want to use as well. If you're not too keen on using a chainsaw and cutting these things up and, figuring out how you're going to get some piece of equipment to haul them off on a trailer, then you're probably going to want to stick to Scotch pine or lodgepole pine, because those are the ones that produce the most volume, even though Scotch pine is only barely half of the lodgepole. So I really think lodgepole is going to be the ones that you're going to want to use if you're concerned about speed and a volume. But if you're really only just concerned about the volume, then pretty much anything that's really big, you're going to be able to cut down and get some pretty good productions out of it. Well, that's going to be it for today, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a like if you would. Make sure to hit subscribe and turn on your notifications to keep up to date on my future videos. While you're waiting on those future videos, go and check out one of these two right here. Have a great day, night, evening, everybody. Until next time, this is Driver53 signing off.